All right, our next presenter is Erik C.B. Olsen, and his presentation is entitled PowerPoints. Ready to go?
Ready.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Try that. All right, who can tell me how many crossing points are up here? How many points are there on this slide? 4. Yes, I have 4 points to talk about tonight. And these points, if followed, will help you with your next effective presentation that you're going to give. So follow these 4 points, and your next presentation that you're giving will be great. First point is have a core message and support that message throughout your presentation. My core message is effective presentations. So follow these 4 points, and you'll have an effective presentation. So everything you say from now on should support this core message that you have. Now, my second point is, as we talked about with Jamie, start on paper. We all learn as kids, we learn to babble a little bit, and then we learn to draw with pencils and pens and crayons. Well, get your paper out and start jotting down your ideas for your speech. And then, when you're ready, move to another kind of paper, which is sticky notes. Sticky notes are great because you can move them around, you can organize your ideas when you're getting your presentation out of your head and onto paper. And this will help you when you're actually presenting your speech as well, because you remember your points better. Now, so the first point is the core message. Second point is start on paper. Third, ask yourself, does my audience need visuals or not? Some speeches you give need visuals, and some speeches actually do not need any visuals. So it's a great question to start out as your third point to remember. And as I said, there's some cases where you don't need anything on the screen at all. Like that. Sometimes it's just you and the audience speaking. You're at a wedding giving a toast. You probably wouldn't have slides for the presentation. You're at a graduation ceremony giving an acceptance speech or giving a speech for someone else. Having visuals probably is not on the agenda. But there are other times when you do have visuals. It could be a simple thing, such as a card, as an example, or a pen. Or maybe on the back screen you have a video clip you're going to show. Or you might have a set of slides. So let's assume you have a set of slides you're going to talk about. I'm going to tell you about 5 quick guidelines you can use to design your slides so that they're effective for your presentation you're giving. Now you can look this up on Google, but these 5 points are about font, color, layout, charts, and comprehension. I'll go over these very briefly right now. So the first thing to remember is your font. Pick a font that is easy to read from the back of the room, something like size 44. Tahoma is a great selection, or Arial, or something that's simple and clean like this font. Now, the reason for this is so you can read it easily from the back, and so people can understand what you're talking about, and you can have an effective presentation. Secondly, you want to think about color. And color should be used very wisely. Sometimes the best color is actually no color at all. A dark lettering on a light background is the highest contrast you can pick. So black and white, for example, may be your best choice. Again, think about being in the back of the room. Can the person see or read your slides? Now, you might have noticed here on the right-hand side, this is fairly consistent with my layout here. I put the title on the side here. It's always consistently there. And I've also been aware of my margins. Don't put anything too important on the margins, because in some cases, you don't know what the room's going to look like, and it might get cut off. So be aware of your margins. Layout has another dimension here, and what is in the background of this slide here? A grid. I heard someone say a grid. Yes, a grid is used by designers, artists, and people like you to design their slides. They use these in magazine articles. Most websites use a grid as well. I use a grid today with my slides to align my image with the title. It gives you a nice, pleasing to the eye image, and it also allows it to be understood, and it looks good. So the trick you can use that designers use as well for your slides. So my next guideline is from Frank Turso as well, and it is about charts. And here it says it all right here. These lovely 3D graphics look kind of nice on a computer, but can you tell quickly which is the best, highest number? The answer is no, you really can't. Doing a nice simple 2D graph would be a lot easier here. So the bottom line is use a 2D graph when you're talking about charts and trying to communicate information to people via numbers. Comprehension is the next guideline here, and my question to you is, what one thing might you do to help make your slides easy to comprehend? What's just one simple idea you might have for a slide to make it? Oh, one idea. Yes, just have one idea per slide. If you're making your sticky notes and then you're getting ready to do your slides and you find you have 2 ideas, then make 2 slides. That is the best way to make your presentation easy to follow, easy to give, and easy for people to understand as you're going along. So my final slide here, 2 more slides actually. This is just a summary slide of Frank Durso. You can look this up on Google, PowerPoint Guidelines by Frank Durso. He'll tell you about these guidelines in a little more in depth. Finally, after you've done all this preparation, you've gotten your core idea down, you started jotting it down on paper, you're organized your sticky notes, you finally just have to take that jump. As we all know, you get a little nervous, that's normal. Remember that, it's just a normal thing that happens. But if you go through these 4 points I've talked about, you'll be prepared that when you jump, you'll land safely. So who can remember these 4 points? I'll go over them in a moment, but just think about what I just talked about, the 4 points we talked about. The first one is core message. Secondly was start on paper, and when you start on paper, then move to sticky notes and organize your ideas. Third, ask yourself about visuals. Do you need visuals or not? In many cases, you may not even need a visual. And then finally, follow Frank Durso's presentation guidelines. You can look those up on Google by just typing in Frank Durso PowerPoint guidelines, and your next presentation when you land will be a safe landing by following these 4 points. Thank you all.